All right, hello everyone out there. I am Gregory Jensen with Distinguished Billiards, and we are here with our two competitors of the day. We have Miles Parker and Zane Morrison. They're in here, they're ready to get into the action, but first we've got to figure out what game they're going to play. Things we do know is that Zane's going to 9 and Miles is going to 7. So give me just a moment here to get a mic fired up, and then I'll be out there to tell you guys what's next. All right, we do have a personal mic going now, and I'm going to go out there and keep this thing going. This is the P.N.W Salotto challenge. Like I said, we have Zane versus Miles, and they talked about it being a blind draw at the time of the challenge, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do it this way. We have an 8-ball with a black chip, a 9-ball with a gold chip, 10-ball with like a gray-green chip. We're going to put these in this bag. This is not a magic bag. There's nothing else in this bag. It is an empty bag. It is a wholesome bag. It seems like it'll do the job just fine. We're in the bag. We're zipping this thing up. We're going to shake it. Anyone want to draw?
Yes, sir.
Looks like Miles wants to do the drawing here. All right, Miles.
Oh, small bag.
Yeah.
That's why we got you good.
Yeah, can't get your hand in there.
It's a one chip sort of situation. What we doing? 10
10
ball.
ball, baby.
Looks like they're doing 10 ball. The chip says. And now they're going to go ahead and lag here and get ready, and I'm going to go get switched into commentator mode.
Oh, let's
Chill out, man.
no early 10, no 10 on the break, 3 foul rule.
All right, and then here we are. We're going to take a good look at these gentlemen for the duration of their stay and see what they can do with what's in front of them. Looks like they're getting down into the lag position, and let's see what they can do with it. All right, they bump and go. We got some fire to it. Ooh, it looks like a Zane situation. We'll go ahead here and speculate that Zane's going to take that break. All right, as these boys rack it up here, we'll talk about our glorious, glorious sponsor, Salotto, and everything they've done for us. We can't thank Reed and them over there more, but we're going to anyways. Reed, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for us, and we will continue to support you. You continue to support us, and we'll continue this beautiful relationship we have. Also, Dynasphere balls out there on the table. They shoot well, and hopefully they have a good time shooting with them today. And Zane's going with it. Rack your own here. We do have a top view and a side view going. You can see both sides of Zane. And we'll give him just a minute here to make sure they're all tight and looking right, and he's going to get cracking on them. See what kind of break he's going to do here today. Don't know if he's going to come in off the left, right side. I think he's going to come in off the right side, but let's see what he does. All right, Zane. Show us what you got today. They are playing 10 ball. That is what the draw produced. 10 ball is, you're going to shoot those balls in order 1 through 10. Slop does not count. You have to call pretty much everything that's going to happen if you want to stay at the table. And you come in, you make a incorrect shot, something falls. You get that option where you can, your opponent can choose to make you keep going at it, or they can take over from where you left off. All right, let's see what Zane's got for us here. He's coming up to the break. Ooh, and that was a miscue. It's probably not the biggest start he was looking for, but it's certainly what he did.
It's not a re-break on that. Nope.
All right, coming in there now with Miles as well. See what Miles does here. Takes his ball in hand. see if we can get ourselves a little bit better view of this table here. I had it set up a little different a moment ago, but it decided to change a little bit on its own. A little bit of a blink there. We'll zoom in some here. Give a little bit of adjustment to that. There we go. Now we're back in there. Get a better look at what we got going on. Alright, and Miles coming in. Oh, a little out to the side there. Those pockets are extra tight on this table. Looking at about 4 3/8 on those corners and 4 1/2 on the sides. So you're going to have to see some pretty accurate pull play here. Alright, so that 8 bolt did get to the rail. Let's see what kind of action Miles is going to give us here. Probably some level of safety. Really want to keep control of that table. And he's out, he's looking. He's really got a lot to think about here to make sure he gets it right. Coming off the side, looks like a little bit of right spin on it. Roll up there. You know, that's going to work out well enough, I think, for him in this instance. I don't think he's going to be upset with that at all. As he continues to work on it. Alright, Zane. Zane got a nice hit on that. I still don't think we're going to see Miles pot a ball here. We could. He might like a one rail bank. Might see what he has with it, because it's pretty safe to do here. He's got the pile behind him. Although if it rolls out enough, it might have there. Keep Zane at the table. He's gonna just try to split the difference and make the cut. Come up and down the table just a hair. Nice little push on it, but oh, he got behind it. It's gonna get to a rail. All right, it does, but it does not open the table up for Miles yet. A lot of touch and go right now. Whole lot of touch and go. All right, Miles, a little bit of spin on it. Nice. All right. Let's hope he called that pocket. I'm not out there to hear exactly what they're doing, but it looks like it could have been an option. Looks like we do have a side view camera kind of getting stuck a little bit here. Don't know a whole lot we can do about that at the moment. Continue to work on that here in the background for just a moment here. See if I can get that side view camera happy again. Alright, looks like we can get that side view camera going again. Oh, and it is getting sticky on us once more here. It's not going to keep our side view going in our favor, but I'll continue working on it a little bit here as well. Alright. Looks like we do have Zane back at the table. A little bit of a steep cut. A little bit of... No, he's going to hold him in a safety? So he's going to wait and see what Miles can do with this situation.
You got his jump cue.
Miles is determining how he's going to go about cutting this ball or
It's still
not.
not short enough. I don't know if that breaks down there.
I think it will be.
Choosing the correct cue. There's a little bit of a wall, unfortunately, right over there that is going to give him a little bit of trouble. I think he's just trying to do the best he can with it in the situation he's facing. Then getting a good hit into it there. We'll just continue to see what he does with it all as we progress here. Miles back in. Got a nice cut down the rail here. Just give it a little bump off the rail, try to get position. Alright, Alright, let's see what he's got with it. Just gonna look at the angle. Angle looks like it could be steep. He's calling a bank shot on it here. Ooh, and he drills it in the pocket. That was a fantastic shot, Miles. He held the ball some there.
Call 6 inside.
Just gonna see what he can do. Probably off the rail here. If he pockets the ball, he really wants to get off the rail just a hair to get a thing with it, but that did not look a good hit. Alright, he's gonna give Zane ball in hand. See what Zane's got with the action. Alright, looks like Zane's gonna just draw it just a hair, just like that. Okay. Now it gets sticky though. Is he gonna go up and down the table? That 8-ball's up against this short rail. I think he's gonna get. Oh, he's gonna try to draw it back and put some angle to it. He made it It's a tough cut, but it's a realistic cut. You just don't want to kill the shot. Just kind of stroke it. It's like a light medium stroke and just get through it just a hair so it drifts up the table. And it doesn't scratch, and that's about, I think, where he wants to be with it. Now is he gonna, top off the rail, short rail, pull some draw and see what he gets? Now he's gonna come off the short rail. Gonna come up a hair short. Wide cut. The bank is there. It's all about it's a fill situation at this point for him, and he drips it in there. This one gives Zane his first game of the match here. We're going up to 1 Zane, 0 Miles, and 10 ball.
That's almost the other way the most.
And the race, as you can see there, is Zane to 9 and Miles to 7. All right, and they are doing alternating break, which means it does not matter if you win or lose, your opponent will get to break there after you. And doing such a thing really just kind of helps to even out the match in some way, so that one player doesn't run away with it, and it just keeps the momentum just playing, so it's a little more fair between both players. And I know there's controversy between some players saying, well, if you can shoot well enough to keep those runs going, that you shouldn't be punished by letting your opponent just have the next break. And I can't say I disagree with either regard for which one you're going to use. It's just, like I said, most important, which one you're going to use and how to deal with it. Alright, Miles is going to be chalking up his break cue there. He's going to get ready to lay down some action with his break here. And let's see what Miles does with his break. Miles. Miles, that was a really nice break by Miles. He got to pocket a ball. He gets to stay at the table. Look at the one though. The one looks it's a little steep on him. He's got some balls in the way of anything on the right side of the table. And I'm saying the right side of the table from the break location of the table. So if you were at the break location looking at the table, that's going to be the right side. And you can see there's an 8 and a 2 or a 4 down there blocking that pocket. So that one ball, kind of might just cut over here to the left side pocket. But it's a risky shot because you miss it, you might leave it near the pocket and many other things. Or maybe it goes in the side and I just can't quite see the angle. Okay, no, I was incorrect not saying that. It did go in that side pocket. So he did do well there. And those side pocket shots are not free because those are 4.5-inch side pockets. So well shot, Miles. Nice roll in the cut. Got a good little bit of stroke into it. Got that 3 up to the top corner, or the bottom corner, I guess, if we're talking where he was with the breaks, be that bottom right corner pocket for establishing pocket calling locations for this match, which is, I think, a fair thing to do at this point. Nice roll, just those pocket payments on this table, they're expensive. You can't roll up that diamond short and often pocket the ball. You've got to be just real close to dead on. You might get half a diamond into the pocket. But Zane's up here and he's going to have to look at this 4 ball, I think, here. See what he can do with it. Just kind of hold the hit and let it drift. Just like, there you go. He hit it pretty well. And he scratched it, so I don't think that that was the execution he was looking for. It's the execution he got, but not what he was looking for. His idea there, I think, was really swell with just, you know, hit it, let it drift, and you'd be right on the 5 ball. But Miles is going to roll up off the rail. Little close to the rail for that shot, but perfectly makeable. Just no one likes shooting off a rail. You don't get to, you know, just get your feel into it correct, and you do work with the best you can. You get the top half of the ball to shoot at. He might be able to hit towards the center, but it's jacked up no matter what. So it just takes a little compensation to find that right line. Oh, and yeah, you know, it's hair off there with how the hit went, and it could just be because it's so close to that rail and not being able to get the hit he was looking for there. Zane will come out here, just give it a little bump. All right. Try to go to the side pocket there with the 6, maybe? If I'm seeing that correctly. Looks like we have, unfortunately, a little bit of sunlight coming in. We don't always typically play at this time of the day. Hopefully it's not affecting players too much at this point, but it's what they're working with. Alright, so Zane to the side pocket, and he potted the ball. 7 ball to the side. Going to take a little of a medium hit, a little firmness here too, get around the table. He's going to go up and down. Actually didn't go firm with it. See, and a little short on it. I think a little more firmer of a hit. He could have been a little better, but it's not bad. He gets some spin rotation here. He'll be sitting real nice. 10 ball. Come across the table. Dangerously getting in line with that side pocket though. But execution seemed to work out just fine. And he's going to go in with the 10 ball to the right corner, and he potted it. Going up, then we've got 2 for Zane. All right, so if Miles was going to 7 and Zane was going to 9, and Zane has 2, and my math is not bad today, we now have an even match on our hands. So now it's Zane to 7 and Miles to 7. And we're going to see what happens now. We've got an even match starting. Zane took those first 2 in the 10 ball. 10 ball is the game they're playing. That is the game that was drawn at the time of the situation. That is what they opted for, was a blind draw to start the match, and that's what they got. Got Backyard Billiards coming in the chat. Hello, Backyard Billiards. Thank you for tuning in and catching up with the match. Hope you're enjoying it. If you hear, see, or anything out there you want to ask, know about, talk about, or say to anybody, the chat is open, and I'll be happy to hear from you. All right, and if anyone else out there has anything to say, chat, talk about, be happy to hear from you. Be happy to talk back to you. And we're going back at this match at 10 ball here with Zane Morrison playing Miles Parker. We were going to put Fargo's up there, but Miles' robustness is just a hair low, and that's makes his numbers not quite where it's going to be. And so we try to get it as fair as we can and assess the players where we can, and we just use what we guessed as from knowing Miles what a fair assessment was, and that's where the 9-7 race came about. It was the fairest way to put them together, and that's where we got with it. And that's a big part of the Salotto Cup thing here too, is to just get these players playing, get the robustness up, so they are established without having to necessarily go to all these major tournaments and events that maybe they don't have time to get to. You kind of get in your own time here. And hello, Chuck. It is a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for signing your name in there so I know what to call you. My name is Gregory Jensen, Chuck. Some people call me Greg, some people call me Gregory. But either is fine for me. All right, let's get back to this game at hand. We have a 1 ball that's tucked in there. So I'm trying to spin a little off the rail. Yeah, you did, but sometimes you write those spin checks and they don't cash. It's a certain feel, it's a certain hit to get those balls to spin the right way. And every player is kind of going to do them a little bit differently. You see there, Zane did spin to slow that down some, but he kind of bump spun that from the side of the ball. But he got a decent location. He got some angle. So yeah, he's he put himself near that. Unfortunately, that short stick wall that's there, and he's going to have to use just a shorter cue. But we do have some pretty nice short cues, so it really doesn't affect the game too much. It just takes a hair off your stroke. Zane has played on this table before, only I think twice since I've done it and made the pockets tighter because the pockets were a lot larger before. Miles has never played on this table, but he was here for a nice little warm-up session before we got started, so he did get time to get himself acquainted with what the table's capable of and not capable of. And as long as you're on, as long as you find the pocket, it's going to treat you right. The rails are fast. Thank you, Chuck, for sharing this with your Facebook group as well. A big part of this is promoting pool in every aspect that we can. And I'm happy to have all the support I can get and support anyone else that I can, equally or more. It's really just it's a wide variety of things. Okay, let's see. Near the rail there, and comes spinning off the rail to get position here. Yeah, he does. But see, that's the payoff sometimes with those. If you're going to hit that much spin and it's that far away, you might have to compensate for the throw. Or the deflection, or squirt, or various ways you want to say what happens there. But it is if you don't compensate for the fill, then you might not pot the ball. All right. We have a report coming in from the sidelines here. Lawrence is chiming in here on my deal here. The match is at my place, Lawrence. I don't know
Call 6 back by you.
how that seems unclear, to be honest. Hopefully you hear this and you understand further that it is at my place and that is my pool table. All right, back looking at it. Okay, I think it looks like Miles must have scratched there while I was looking away. And Zane is back at the table to pot that. I believe it was a 7-ball. Now, this is a nice setup to get out here for Zane. He's just going to run that 8 right down the rail, let that cue ball, hopefully probably just roll up to the rail. He might want to come off the short rail, so depending on what he's got to look at here. Ooh, see, yeah, we're right back where I was talking about earlier. You come up too much of a diamond or so, diamond and a half, on a valley, on a bar table with some wide pockets, it'll go. Here, it's not going to go. You're going to have to dial it. And I said both players are warmed up. They do know how the table does operate, and I think they're working on it the best they can. They wanted to play here because it's an equal playing field. There's no conditions that don't change the game very much. Unlevel table, incorrect old rails, anything like that. The rails, they're all just a couple months old. And Miles took a nice shot at that bank, and it's not quite in the pocket, but it was solidly close. Zane held up to the rail. I don't know how straight he is over there, but he's kind of got to punch through this to get position on that 10 ball. Let's see what he gets. He does. He punches it. Just not quite at the right enough spin on the angle on the spin. Just didn't carry it at the table. Typically, you punch those like that with a good spin, and you'll see that ball when it hits that rail. It'll just light up and carry itself right to where it needs to be. He might leave Miles a look at a shot. He left him a shot, but he did not leave him in easy country. You gotta be real careful with this cut here. They do like to scratch. They'll go back to that pocket right there where that cue ball is. Unfortunately, if you try to just easily make it. I myself have been trying to work on these shots to where I just get a little bit of either inside or outside running English on the cut and just let that cue ball go ahead and miss the pocket. If you're going for position next way, that's where you're going to change whether you're using outside or inside running English, but you've got to get that field compensation to the ball. But he went for the bank shot. That was probably the safest play to not scratch if you weren't prepared to compensate for a scratch. All right, right, Zane's back at the table. I'm going to try to execute this 10 ball to the corner pocket, to that top right corner pocket from the break pot, and not quite sure what happened there. Maybe he didn't see the angle right. Maybe it's a safety. Maybe he didn't feel the confidence to make that cut. That is not the easiest cut to make, especially in any level of a pressure shot, because you don't have a very big margin of error for speed or angle. But I think he's going to go for this shot. And these usually, as long as you just get the angle lined up right, they like to go in the pocket. Just don't overhit it. Nice medium light stroke to it. Don't pull back too much. And just like that, goes right in. All right, we're going to give Zane that next game. So Zane's now definitely up one on Miles. Chuck has a live stream as well. All right, Chuck. Well, you share that when you get it going and stuff too. And if you want some more support as it's going and stuff, if you give me a heads up. Great, yeah, put that in there. If you give me a heads up on it and stuff too, then I can try to put more exposure on any of my other platforms as well. We'll give you the best wide market share that we can. It's the best we can do to help each other, just continue to grow. As Miles racks, just going to keep bringing everyone up to date on what they are doing, which is 10 ball. They're playing 10 ball. 10 ball is similar to 9 ball, but it's a little more difficulty to it. Slop does not count. You shoot those balls 1 through 10. And if you want to stay at that table, you got to call what you're going to do. And if that doesn't happen, and your opponent doesn't do an option because you pocket a ball, then you get to go sit down and watch your opponent show you what they can do. But here, we're about to see Miles execute a break shot. A little bit of a push there. Apparently they're okay with that. We have no referee. They are self-refereeing out there. That was a solid break, though, by Miles. I think with... slow down, take your time, execute a couple shots here, and he might get on the board. Let's see how he does with this 1 ball. Nice cut here. Don't have to give it a lot. But yeah, you can't come up that short on the cut. All right. Buried him a little bit there. From this angle, I can't tell if he's going to see past that 8 ball. Or 6, 7 ball there. Color's a little harder to see on the screen here. And I will... let you guys know I am partially colorblind. I have called myself the colorblind commentator in the past. I can see them enough. It's usually when they get close, like if a 6 and a 7 is close in color, or 2 and a 4. I don't always see them correctly. So if a correction is needed, feel free, because it's not easy being colorblind. I've even made jokes about it in the past. Of sometimes when I'm actually playing, and the balls are close in color, or if it's one of the newer off-colored set of balls. I'll go look at them, and a 6 and 7 or 2 and 4 or whatever are close to each other, and I'm down there looking at the balls, going, "Is that the 6 or the 7?" Looking for the number because maybe it's on the bottom of the ball, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's really looking at this shot." No, I just trying to figure out if that's the 6 or the 7. All right, we'll get back up here to what they're doing. All right, looks like that 1 ball's buried. Well, the cue ball's buried behind the 9, and he has to hit the 1 ball. So you going to go 3 rails? Oh yeah, he is going to try 3 rails on that. That was a good execution. Hit that pretty tough, hit it pretty hard in my opinion on a 3-rail shot. I like to execute those 3-rail shots with a little bit of running English, and you can kind of get a stronger adjustment to the shot. Well, that is a solid Fargo there, Chuck. A 628 Fargo. Congratulations. That is not an easy feat. I keep going up and down. I took a long break off a pull, and so I've been struggling in the 400s. One day I could shoot in the 500s and look great, and the next day I run 5 balls and let my opponent just have the table. So, still working on those finite details, and getting back into solid execution play. Well, congratulations, Chuck. Again, not an easy feat to be a 628 player. I'm trying to go for 700 myself if I can ever get there, but I realize it's probably going to take a couple of years. But I'm at it every day. But it's not about me at the moment. It's about these two fine competitors playing 10 ball, and 10 ball is what they are playing. And Zane is getting back to the table to potentially pot that. There's a 5 ball there in the side pocket. This nice little bit of top English. There he goes. That is looking mighty fun. See what his angle's going to hold in store for him when he gets down and looks at it. How much he's going to have to do here. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it. He's going to bank it. He might bank. No. Oh, he's going to give him a safety off of it. All right. He did not like that angle. And I don't blame him. You really have to put a lot of English on that or hold that thing one direction or the other. To get to that 8-ball shot, I mean, you know, that's where, you know, Zane is about a 500 Fargo player, and Miles, I think he's in the high 400s, but he's, I think, right there, somewhere in that mid 400 range, where, you know, depending on the table, probably depending on the day, it's going to change the execution he's going to deliver. Zane's pretty solid to stay, you know, in his zone, and on the days Zane's not playing as well, I've seen where he'll just play slower, play the table a little bit more, and just try to beat you that way. He's up here again. Should be out here really if he gets all across the table on this cut shot here. Hold it too much? No, he didn't. I think he's there. Real question is now, how much action is he feeling off this ball? Is he going to draw it just a hair? So. Oh, he's just going to stall it up there. Now he's going to have to cut this. The back cut gets, I think, a lot trickier than the standard cut. Put some top on it and get around the table. Go up and down. He's going to go around the table there. Oh, we know he went for the back cut. That's a risky shot. That risk did not pay off this time. All right. Miles' ball in hand. He's got 2 balls here to get on the board. It's really about how you play this 9 ball. How much of push you're going to put to it here to get to that 10 position. All right, he went to the outside of it. Ooh, does not look like he got to the pro angle there, but see what he's calling a side pocket. I was concerned about the scratch, so he kind of held up on it some. That's where, you know, I think True's trying to figure out some of those strokes, some of those different Englishes can really save you. And you know, you make the ball, you get the fill, you get that slight compensation with the fill, and then execute that spin on the shot, and you get to where you need to be. All right, Zane slow rolling a bank. Come off the rail. No, this is a fair shot here. This is a fair shot for Miles to take a look at. I think just take your time. Make sure you get through the ball and the hit, and you should be home. And there it is. Miles is on the board. He is in the game. Congratulations, Miles. Good job. All right, so we got 1 to 3. Zane versus Miles. As Zane's racking, I'm going to reiterate again. I will continue to do this to keep everyone up to date that we are playing 10 ball. There's no on the screen, so there's no way they know that. But 10 ball is the game of play they received off of the blind draw that was used to determine what game they will be playing. Zane's taking care to rack the balls. They are using a magic style rack. It's not that brand, but it's just one of those styles of racks. And the good thing about those racks is they do deliver the same rack consistently, and that's a big key to why people really get into using them, because it's equal for every player. Just make that the rack your own situation kind of more of a thing too, because you're the only one to blame if you don't like it. Okay, it looks like he did the scratch, so that's at least fortunate for him. However, Miles is sitting buried behind the one ball. We're going to see how he feels about the situation as he gets up there to it.
Bless you.
All right, he pushed out to it. Kind of lined it up a little bit for Zane with that push out, though. I think he will keep. I think he's going to keep it. I think Zane's going to get up there and see what work he can do here. little bit of just a medium hit with some spin off the rail should get him where he needs to be. Come up with some angle. See now it gets a little trickier. How much are you going to hold or not hold the ball? This is where it really comes into how good you are with just compensating your shot.
Hit it.
See, yeah, he just didn't compensate quite enough holding the ball, and I didn't really watch his stroke there, but you got to be careful not to decelerate as you get into those strokes. Sometimes I'm learning more and more too, like with just kind of just choking up a little more on your cue, so that way you can just keep your acceleration the same, keep your shot the same, just not give it as much. Because that's a big part of trying to execute at a high level in the game is that having what we call a repeating stroke, which is you do the same almost every time. And I say almost every time because there are different shots that do require different strokes, but you get up there 50, 60, 70% of the time, if you have a solid repeating stroke and routine, you're going to hit the ball the same. You make those adjustments and you can count on what you're doing, and that matters a lot when the pressure situations show up, that you know where to fall back to when the nerves catch up and just everything's on the line. You just take that breath and you just get down and do what you've taught yourself to do. All right, well, Zane looked nice on that ball. A little bit of center hit, let it drift. That looked good. Come off the side pocket here. Now the 8 though is very behind the 10 ball. I'm interested to see how he does here. He can get exotic with it and cut it all the way down the table. That'd be easy to get that position, but the shot gets stuck. And that he got up and he shot that awful quick, in my opinion. But it didn't hurt him very much. But I was going to say with that side pocket shot there, those tight 4.5-inch side pockets, you start killing into it to try to get position. What happened is what's likely to happen, unfortunately.
Call 7.
All right, Miles. All right, he's calling a bank shot back there where he's at. He's going to try to come off the rail first. Let's see if it pays off for him, too. That cue ball drifted over. Looks like I think Zane can see it. This is where you might be able to use a little bit of that deflection to spin in your favor and let it drift over slightly and pop the ball. Not quite there. It was a good attempt. It was a solid attempt. Right, Miles. I feel like he's got to use the whole table on this shot. But no, not really. He could bump it in and then shoot the 8 up. Maybe that's probably the better play looking at this angle. Just get that 8 back up there in the upper left pocket, but not doing that. All right. Back to Zane now. Zane, they are playing 10 ball. Zane is on the 8 ball right now. If you can pot this 8 ball, he should almost automatically get over 9 if he doesn't kill the shot. It's just going to want to go where it needs to go. And it did. It really did there. But now he's got choices and decisions to make about where his stroke is, where his decisions are. Maybe just draw it back, line it up, put it in the opposite pocket. I feel like you got to take a little more time on that shot, though. Just a hair rushed. I don't know if that was the factor or not. It could have been the angle. But I wonder if we're going to see a 10 ball call here for Miles. That 9 probably might go. 9 might go off the 10 in the corner. The 10, I don't think it's going to easily go with the 9. It might bank. 9-10 combo might get him in the pocket back there. You gotta feel really confident with that, though. There's a lot of angles going on there because it is not online. I think he's gonna try to just straight up cut it. He's got some distance to shoot there, though, to do so. He might want to think about a bridge.
I'll play the 9 back here.
Continue to watch him think about it here and see what he does with it. Come off. Okay, he's coming off angle. Maybe he's gonna try to bump it off the 10, though. Not being out there and seeing what happened, say I know exactly what he tried there. I think he was trying for the cut. If that was the case, he got nice position, but I don't know if that was only paid by missing the cut. All right, Zane's going to try to draw off the rail. I think you're going to cross the table, line up on the 10. Let's see what happens. Well, he did a lot with it, almost too much. But he's okay. He's okay. Now, I like to call these a little bit of a stroke shot, where you don't want to hit the ball hard, because would like to go 3 rails here in position on the 10 ball. But you got to have a little bit of the stroke, and I like a hair of the running English. It depends on the angle, though. The running English, if it's got a tight angle, will definitely get you easily there. But you could get a touch of inside and then drift it up and down the table too if you really got into it. But I think he got enough of it. Yeah, that might be the pro side. It's pro enough, that's for sure. If he could go ahead and drop this in there, we're going to come within 1 game of each other early on. All right, Miles. Spectacular. That was well shot. Well shot indeed, Miles. All right, 2 to 3. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Right, looks like, I believe I think it's Miles' turn to rack here for us. Or for himself, shall I say.
Which one? I think it's 4-4 right now. No, it's
It is. As you can see on the screen, this is a Salotto-based event. Reporting of this match will go to Salotto.
Verification scores 3 to 4.
3 to 4?
What's the score?
2 to 3. I have 2 to 3.
And
I-
you give them 2, that's 4.
Oh, I didn't go to 7, you going to 9.
So he's at 3.
I'm counting, I'm just.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay. Based on the quarters I already spotted 2 on the wire, so. Okay, so.
I just want mine down to 2, that makes sense.
All right, had a little bit of a player check in there from Zane Morrison, making sure we're all on the same page. And we are. Zane had Miles' scores given up front, and whereas I felt it was easier to go ahead and just make the race 2 different numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Miles to 7 and Zane to 9. So that's I don't know, that to me that just sounds like the better way to go about it. So that's my approach. Can't say I know that's right or wrong. It's just what feels right. All right, so Miles, let's see. His last break was actually pretty nice. Nice spread. He's got, yeah, look at that. He's not killing the balls, but his break speed is really spraying them apart well. He had a better lineup on the 1 last time. And like this shot here is really going to come down to his comfort level with it, and oftentimes too how much you practice it. He likes the bank. Okay. And it's a good bank. He did not quite get there. It is a 2-way shot there. So he did get a 2-way shot out of that to where had he made it, he'd have a look at his ball, and if he missed, well, Zane's got a situation on his hands. He might go to the air here. I don't know if he's going to get the jump. He's probably kind of close to the rail for a jump shot. He's going to spin off the rail. No, it was clear. All right, I did not see that would go from my vantage point, but apparently it did. All right, we are seeing what we refer to as removing the rack from the break location, or the ball rack location on the table there. Using those style racks, they do create a more consistent rack, but they do stay on the table until the balls are out of the way, or until you can do some sort of ninja-like move to extract it from the center of the table. They don't typically provide too much interference with playing, but they can, especially if you're trying to slide the ball across the table, or you just put a little more on it than just an average roll or hit. It might get in the way of and slow some of that action down, so you want to get that off the table as quickly as you can. All right, for a safety. Oh, it looks like he might have hit that 3-ball first. Let's see if Zane picks this ball up or not. Oh, maybe they think it was good. To me, Chuck. All right, I see your Chuck versus Gizmo thing there. I will try to check that out and see what you're doing with that later today at some point. I currently have my 3 screens going in front of me, so I can see everything that's going on between the players, the streaming platform, and well, the other streaming platform, because I run 2 of them at the same time. Just so I can keep an eye on what the feed's doing as well as what's coming out there to you guys. Ooh, that was a good execution. I rushed out of the shot just a little bit there. Trying to pull the 1 ball to the pocket. I think it looks like this one might clear the 9. Let's get those pockets.
Call behind the 9.
4 3/8. Flirting maybe 4 1/4, but definitely 4 3/8. So you don't get 2 balls by. So you get half a pocket in this sort of scenario, and you get a makeshift 2-way shot. I think out of that one. I don't know if we have the 2 minutes. Looking at what's going on off the rail, and I did not see any movement out of that 9 ball down there, so I'm going to say that was a clean shot. Well executed, good spin, Zane. And when I'm playing, I see someone do something like that, I'm like, oh, that's nice. If the shot's like that, I said, I'll do it again. Because essentially he had to do that shot 2 times, only the other one was different. Oh, nice, Chuck. European rules, call shots, and call safety. What is Gizmo's Fargo, if I may ask? Are you guys really close in Fargo rating? And for anyone that doesn't know what Fargo rating is, it's a score based upon you playing various matches through tournaments, through league, and then now also through the Salotto app and stuff of that nature. And that number, once you have enough games in, there's a minimum of about 200 to 400 to really give you a foundation, but that's also still just a foundation. It's not always where the player might actually be or where they may be soon. So typically, you know, when you're getting around 600 to 1,000 games in, you've got a solid foundation of what that player is in the Fargo score. So that way, if you were to do something like a Salotto match or you go play in a tournament, you don't have a pro player playing against, you know, medium to low amateur players. Because if that player shows up, they're going to just win the tournament. That's not fun for anyone and hard to compete against. And so that's where Fargo comes in and really helps the players find just a more even match to where it comes down to the player's ability to play at their level consistently, more so than just a standard like old school heads up. Though I do like an old school heads up myself as well. So the players that do have some balking at that, and that was a nice cut by Miles, but it did give him a scratch, unfortunately. But yeah, the heads up play is always great, but it is very skewed sometimes when you have one much higher skilled player versus a less skilled player. All right, Zane. 520, that's not bad. I mean, obviously you're 6, that's 108 points difference, so it seems like you're definitely going to get more runouts than he's going to get. But 520, a 520 that finds a stroke and finds some stride, he's going to put down 2 or 3 racks, running out, on a really good strong day, which, it's a 628. I'm sure you're doing those 2 and 3 run out racks pretty consistently. Right, Zane with a cut shot, and Zane has potted that cut shot. Puts Zane up 1 more on the board. Alright, so if I do have the score correct, which I believe I do, we have a 4-2 match, but it's not a heads-up match. Zane has to get to 9, and Miles has to get to 7. So that leaves they're tied, you know, in a way here. With, you know, 5 for Zane to get to 9 and 5 for Miles to get to 9. Be back in just a moment here. I'm gonna take a moment to take a drink of something. As we speak here, we do get dry. All right, I am back at the moment now, and yeah, Chuck, I would speculate he should be able to break and run at a 520. You know, I think a 520 score means, you know, potentially some days
Popcorn, baby.
he's going to just play a lot better than others, and when the days he plays strong, he probably might, you know, plays up around 600 speed. But on the bad days, you get way low, and that's kind of where I'm at. Where on a strong day, I can shoot, you know, in a high 500 way. On a bad day, I just give it away. So it's a constant growth pattern, as we all know, that are in the path of continually trying to grow upward and forward. And anyone out there playing, you know, table billiards is typically in that same area. All right, we're looking at a one tied up back over here. I'm pretty sure he can hit it. It's just a matter of what he's going to do with it. I did get a report back from Lawrence Frampton, aka Pete the Bully, Pete, who is an admin over in this event at the Salotto Comp, and we could not thank him enough. Everything he does day in and day out to make sure no one kills anyone, and it's so fantastic everything he's doing, and his patience with everyone and ability to work, listen, is phenomenal. And we can't thank you enough, Pete, and we hope you continue to do all the wonderful things you do for our community. And I certainly will continue to do what I'm doing. And Pete does say that he does see, though, that it's at my house now. So I think we've made progress there. All right, and I did confirm with Miles that the score is correct. We are in a race to 5 at this point. Race to 5. Looking at our table here, we've got a solid shot here. Really kind of dove into that thing, but we had to get down table. What's he going to do with this here, though? I think he's going to try to go for a safety here. It's going to be the smart play. I feel like he could be safer. We're just going to put that 10 ball wherever we want to. He did. He put it. It looked like he put it back where it was supposed to be. It was just a little bit rousing from the commentator there. All right, so looks like we're going to see a shot up table here. We'll call it bottom left. One moment.
I was asking about playing some music, but I knew didn't you have some non?
Well, I just in the background, but I have nothing set there to play music.
Okay.
You cannot play any music. They're killing music.
Yeah. Okay. So
Unfortunately, no.
wear your pod or something.
Yeah, you can do that.
Don't worry, Zane.
All right, we've dialed back in. Yeah, you guys can hear a light bit of music in our background here, which is free music, but they don't have music out there, and they were wondering about that being an option. But unfortunately, copyright is not making that an easy thing to deal with. And this match getting set up very quickly did not allow me time to get them a venue set up there to play music that would be copyright free for them. This match was set up in less than a day, and I had to get everything moved around and ready for play last night and tighten up this morning. But I think we made it in time. and I haven't heard too much feedback in a negative way, so I would assume it's looking and sounding as it should, which is all we could hope for. Alright, nice cut shot coming down the rail. It looked like it was going to be a hanger, but it was not. Just must have had just enough spin on it to let it go to sleep at the bottom of the pocket. Alright, let's see, down the table. He got it, he got it. Is he going to try to kick this out or not? He might try to kick it off the rail soon. I think he was trying to push it off the rail. It probably would have lined up to that side pocket if he would have got a better cueing action to it. But now he's going to push back and attempt to get a come on the 9. I don't know if he called potting that or not, but it is a good safety. However, if he did call that and missed, and had not missed, he would not have left himself well. So let's say that was a safety shot. We have Miles. Looks like he's going to make sure that chalk is in place because he is going to go to the air for us here. First jump shot of the day from Miles. First jump shot, generally. Bring a jump hit. Oh, that was a solid jump, but the pocket got in the way of the cue ball. Wonder what he was calling there. He's probably calling down table. I don't think he was calling a cut shot bank, or anything of that nature. But it's the thing about doing this in here, you never know what they're trying to do. You just know what you see. Chuck from Mount Vernon, Washington, is where we're at here in Skagit. We are about an hour or so above Seattle. Greenville, okay. I've been over by Greenville, South Carolina before. I used to live in Florida, and I've been all across all kinds of places over that direction. All those places, just they're all really nice. It's really nice. You got nice country land and stuff over there. A lot of good pool players over there too. I think back in the day, that's where you saw a lot of the road players and stuff playing for money was all across the South, all up and down that East Coast and stuff. And I know they were all over the United States, but I think that was just another high traffic area for them back in the day. And we'll get back here to looking at the game at hand. Zane should have an out here. It looks like it's there. Let's get up the table for the 9. Don't get too far up the table, Zane. Yeah, alright, I call it like a touch and go. Just give it a touch and don't let it go. Oh, see, yeah, he let that one go. Maybe he wanted to, maybe he's comfortable with that, that's what he likes. I like if you touch those, though, and don't let them go, it drops the ball kind of as it comes by, and then the way it just drops the ball just slows that cue ball down, and then you're left with a nice angle to pocket the 10 ball. And that's how I see some of those shots. Maybe over time, over the years, I would change seeing that shot that way as my experience level with shot making gets higher and higher. It is pretty high, but I feel like I've forgotten more shots than I've remembered, unfortunately, from leaving pool for 12 years and then coming back. All right, that was a good pot at a cut, but didn't quite get there. You got a decent natural angle here, I think, on this shot. Just don't kill it if it doesn't scratch. There's no reason to kill this shot, though. I think you just get up and you just hit it with your everyday stroke. Ooh, I did not expect a miss there. I'll have to look up more of his stuff. I don't know if I know a whole lot about Hollingsworth. I might know who he is from looking at him or something too. Something I can look into a little bit later and see if it's hits any notes. That was a nice cut. Just kind of give into it just a little bit there and let it go in the pocket. All right, we're getting Miles up one now. So we got Miles up one. They started out, on my scoreboard at least 0-0. I had them down as Miles going to 7 and Zane going to 9 because that was what we agreed upon before the match. In this match of 10 ball, there were 3 different variations that we were allowing them in this match that are the same 3 variations that are allowed in the Salotto Cup that we've put on here locally, and it's 8, 9, and 10 ball. They weren't real sure where they wanted to fall with it, and so they figured out the correct race that was fair between them, and we did a blind draw when we started this thing, and 10 ball was what they came up with through the blind draw, and 10 ball is what they were playing. 10 ball is executed quite like 9 ball, and if you don't have 9 ball executed either, then you're potting the balls 1 through 10. You have to hit the first ball in order for it to be a legal shot, and thereafter hitting that first ball, any ball has to contact your rail with nothing scratching for it to be a legal hit. For you to continue shooting, you have to call all aspects of the shot, and the shot in. Call that a made ball. We do have another really good break from Miles. Unfortunately, he's scratched. I've not seen really that bad of a break from Miles at all yet. What is, does he have a Fargo? Has he gone to the Fargo, land of Fargo, Chuck? What's his Fargo? Landon is I'm asking about. All right, so Zane with ball in hand here. You got a 7-2, is it 7-2, I think? They're kind of close to each other. If the 2 goes in another pocket down here, I'd like to think to see a run out. I mean, I feel like it's there. He got a good hit on it. He really went into it with top English there, but he hit it the way he would hit it. Yeah, that's what I would expect over 700. That makes for a very difficult player to compete against, that's for sure. That was a nice drop. A lot of spin on it, a lot of spin on it. It looks like maybe he could see it. Is he going to kick at it? Oh, yeah. Kicking at the win. Well, it would be a win, you just have to get out, but kicking to stay in. How about that? Alright. I think a draw shot here. Usually you can feel really comfortable open table kind of draw shots if you have a stroke you're at least used to, dialed into. You hit it halfway. Oh no, he's going to go top inch off the rail. Okay. I thought he would go for the draw because then it gives you about 3 options to get to the 9 if you get angle or just the leave. But here you're down to harder options to get to the 9, but you can get there. You can get there, and he did. But you see what I mean there too. So you see how the magic, the rack there, that type of rack, it slid when you hit that ball. So there was some traction from the rack. So it could have been a benefit to take that off the table. I think here now you'll see Zane probably remove that from the table. No, Miles took care of it. Oftentimes too, you kind of get in stride and you get out there. And you might not take the rack out off the table because you just don't want to change where your eyes are looking. I mean, that was a fantastic shot, Zane, but not a lot of angle here. These shots get real tough because there's not a lot of natural angle to it. You gotta figure out the stroke you need to get the angle. He's tried to roll the angle to it, and the speed was enough to make it a tough bank for Miles, but it's a nice one pocket bank. It's a lot of games. 4,000 games. Well, see, that's the thing. That's how you get to that level too. Is you got to play all those games, and that was a big part of the reason where you saw my 2701 thing that I have going is to try to start getting me that direction, to getting those games in. Because I have been playing and practicing a lot by myself, but fantastic shot, Miles. Let's not take away from Miles and that fantastic bank he just executed there to bring himself up. up on the match for if Miles gets 3 before Zane gets 5, we could see an upset here for Zane. But yeah, just I've been practicing, on my own, doing 10 to 30 racks a day on average. I've been real busy lately, so it kind of had different things going on that kind of slowed me down some. But just getting those racks in and just try to get the rhythm and get the tempo going. Get the feel for the stroke into where you're not just trying to feed yourself differently, and you're down there executing the same every time. Just and getting back to the feel like shooting from your chest to really execute the shot solidly and correctly every time. Get your eyes on the shot line, get your body in alignment on the shot line, and get the shot in correct. And that's the thing. And then you're trying to do that every day, all the time. And you're basically trying to make yourself a pull shooting robot. But we're not. We're humans, so we're going to make the adjustments and figure out how we can live our best. And we're seeing these competitors try and do just that. Shoot at their best. And Zane potted a ball, almost potted the cue ball, but he left himself a look at the 1. It looks like a back cut to the side pocket from here. I think he just let it loose with a light, medium stroke. You get through the ball light, but let it through, like that. He did the shot the way I would expect him to do the shot, but I think he rolled into the hit just a bit much, and that created that off hit, just why it didn't quite get to the pocket. It's hard to say. I'm not down there hitting the balls either, and I can make the shot look just as bad. So Miles gets his opportunity though to get in that side pocket. 4.5-inch side pockets though, they don't give you a lot.
4 ball.
Oh, you cash in and then you cash out sometimes, and well, unfortunately that's what happened to Miles there. Well, to be honest, looking at it too, I did not see that happening on the natural hit either. I thought it was going to clear that 2-ball when I was looking at it, because I was curious if that 2-ball was going to come back up here to this top right corner pocket after that. But yeah, that angle was different than it appeared. Will it be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Chuck? Alright, Zane got that in the pocket, got off the rail, got some alignment. See him pull this a little bit. Ooh, he really got into that deal. Alright, he's gonna see if he can steer that into the side pocket. Okay, he called on the side, but it was just a ploy to safety. I think it was just a ploy to safety. But he did get a safety, so I mean there's that. But so how does Miles? Oh, he's gonna look at the mass say. I like coming up the table with a light medium stroke and just spinning that ball down the rail. Try to hit just about right in front of the side pocket and just let it spin off the rail and hit that ball. Try to get it come across the table and bury over, hit that 9, push that ball down closer towards the 1 diamond in the rail. But that's for someone that can spin the ball pretty well. It's really just a matter of, I guess, how much control you feel like you can get when you start executing those off-angle shots with side spin, because it's definitely a difficult thing to control, and it can be your friend and it can be your foe, and more often than not it will be your foe, because you start to think, oh, I can use it here, oh, I can use it there, when really you should just line the shot up and hit the shot and let it go right to where the natural position would be. But then you go, oh, I want it to be an inch over here, and you start pushing your balls out of your pockets by overdoing yourself. Alright, I don't know what he was looking at doing there. I thought he was going to just cut that in the side pocket. I thought it was pretty much right there, like, here you go. But maybe I saw it differently from this angle. See another bank shot. He's been doing pretty well in these bank shots. I like his bank stroke. He's got a nice soft stroke to it, a little bit of wobble, but it's not always bad as long as you get back to the ball straight. Sometimes that wobble is just that little bit of like just sort of undulating stroke speed. As long as you get back straight through that hit, it's a good hit. You know, you see, you know, Reyes and Bustamante and a lot of those Filipino high-end players. That's a lot of their stroke. But if you watch, the number one thing you see is when they hit that ball, it is perfectly straight every time. And they've all played so much rotation pool and other games, you know, for so long that it's just natural at this point for them. And rotation pool, you know, isn't far from 10 ball, which is what these gentlemen are playing today. They are playing 10 ball. We execute hitting balls 1 through 10 in order. And he did get a good push kick at it, but just wasn't quite straight enough on it. Zane's going to want to try to get in this here. He's coming down pretty far. He's, you know, 5-3 at this point to win. Zane's got to get 5, and Miles just needs 3. Zane had a big lead to start, and Miles has kind of closed in on him. Zane's made some mistakes at the back end of racks, and if you know 10 ball, that's where you can't make those mistakes. That's been one of my big falters on 10 ball too, is get up there and start feeling right about it. Get one of those 75, 80, you know, less shots, or down those 50% shots, and you're start hero shooting and you miss and hand it to your opponent and say, here you go, good game. All right, let's see a bank here. You might try and cut it at angle. Might not be steep enough, but we'll see. Yeah, maybe he was going for a safe there. Could be a good time to go for a safe. If you're not feeling that cut, a safe would be the smart play, because you might just make the pocket that much smaller, or somewhat that much easier for Zane if he was to get an opportunity if he did not pop the ball. Coming across table. Alright, this is pretty good here too. I feel like this is one of those two, you just line up slightly off angle, a little bit of top spin. Medium stroke it. Just get through the ball nicely. Yeah, see, that's what happens if you come straight on the angle. It seems like those always want to hit a little too thick. So you got to almost aim at the other side of the pocket if you're going to try to hit that thick. Otherwise, you just line up slightly off angle on the shot, and when you get down to hit it, you're right on the angle to get the ball to the pocket. All right, see if you can try a bank here. We do a safety. All right. I think Zane's starting to feel some of this pressure now too, being down. I know he's going to try to stay in it for sure, but you're probably not going to see a lot of go for it shots right yet. Again, he did take some go for it shots earlier. It looked like to me. It's looking like a good angle. Hits it in, yeah, up the round. Alright, so earlier he hit a couple of these. He really pushed them into the 2-rail position back up. But he looks a little low here. I think he's going to draw this one. I would draw this one myself. No, he's going back up and down the table. See, and you know, that's where with those shots I like to draw, because your window of error gets much larger. If he would have drew that back, he could go past his ideal spot 3, 4, 5 inches. He can be short of it a couple inches even, and you have a solid shot. With these type shots, you roll past the ball one direction or another, and it can get much more difficult. So it's user preference. There's not necessarily a wrong way. It's just if your way is different, you better execute it well. And however, or finish with a nice bank like that. Congratulations, Zane. You made a nice bank to win that rack. And to close the margin between you and Miles by 1 more point.
I think this is fine.
All right, and as everyone can see the logos on the screen, we do have Salotto and Dinosphere as sponsors. Salotto doing so much for our sport and so much for all of our players at every level, and it's so fantastic to see what Reed and Kobe and all them over there do for us, and to be a part of everything they want to give to the sport, as we want to give so much to the sport as well. And coming together, working together, building these dynamics and these events, it's just phenomenal. And I've competed in all of them as well myself, and it works well, you know. It gets your Fargo up, and it helps you play players you haven't played before, and you can do it anywhere you have, you know, your phones and cell phones and iPads, any of those things, and internet, because you got to run it through internet, and then you're right there. All right, Miles. Let's see one of those Miles breaks again. They have been looking pretty good today. Yeah, there he goes again. Look at that break speed. Oh, his first shots aren't paying off as well for him, but his non-power break speed, because he's not killing the balls, but his concussion speed just spreads them nicely. Just isn't quite there on that first shot. He had one earlier that was a nice first shot. But he's going to give Zane a push out. Oh, put him up here on the short rail. Make him shoot off the rail. Let's see what he thinks about shooting off the rail here. He does have a ball blocking him from scratching, but it can do weird things. Alright, no, he said let's safety this. Oh, look at this. Does Miles see a 1-10 combo? Because I do. I assume he's called that out there. He's hitting at it. Ooh. Not quite enough angle, but he had a good hit at it. We got Zane looking at his situation. I bet he wishes that 3-ball wasn't there. But he's going to have to shoot past it, or he's going to come that round. He's going to play smart here. He's not going to, try for any weird 10 situation. Just try to hide something and stay in it. Wait for your opportunity. Yeah, when you get these situations too, it becomes a game of patience. It's no longer at this moment a game of who can make the prettiest 3-rail, 4-rail, 5-rail shot, cut, bank, anything like that. It's now we're just waiting for our time. Waiting to see who makes the biggest mistake first. Look at that. That was a beautiful jump shot. He was close to the rail too, so he got jacked up right by the rail, took it to the air, hit the ball, got close to making it. I mean, you can't say a lot of bad things about a situation like that.
Option.
That looked like a really nice shot, but since Zane's walking away from the table, I'm going to go ahead and think he didn't do that. He probably caught option, though. I don't think Miles said you can keep it, because he does have a shot on this 2-ball. Don't know if he was going for safe there or trying to work with an angle, but he left a long angle shot for Zane, but it wasn't too hard to get in. But they do require a little bit of dialed in accuracy, because you got to roll by it as you come through it. It shears into it as it pushes it towards the pocket. You don't get a clean, dead-on hit to pop that ball typically. Kind of like that. He had that was about a similar hit. The angle wasn't nearly as steep, but that's kind of what happens with those shots. Cut shot coming in here. Okay. It's buried behind the 8. No, he gets to get up here. See, now this is that mistake we're looking for. He has a table. He can get it out on here. He's just going to make the right shots, stay in position, slow down, take your time, and execute. Everything's out in the open. Nothing's weird.
Or something.
We got a little close there, so now we're getting to one where we're having to get weird with it and look at different ways to go about it here. All right. So Zane down for a cut shot, I believe. Good push on it. Good push on the cut. Oh, yeah, it's that pocket. Just did not pay him. Did not pay him well. Chuck, I was waiting to hear back from you still too. And you said you have a game at 9 Eastern Standard Time. Is that 9 o'clock tonight? 9 tomorrow? I'd like to tell the viewers or anyone interested in watching, you know what, maybe you have going over there at Backyard Billiards. What exact time that is. Alright, Miles down around. Look at, he nailed that thing. That was a good shot. Hammered it home. Probably gonna go up a rail or two here and come back around for position. Just gotta, no, he's just gonna drift into the, okay. I don't like doing those shots as much. I used to try to do them all the time, and I just create too many misses, and I found that you don't want to try to hold the cue ball. When you try to hold the cue ball, it just makes your life harder than it needs to be. So you just start trying to look at more creative ways to let the ball go at the natural speed and just work with the natural speed of the cue ball and not try and decelerate in a way like this. What you see Zane doing here. He could have accelerated a little bit more, but it's not a bad place to be. But he didn't try to hold anything to get position on the 10 ball. He let it go, let the natural amount of speed take it to the point. And it paid off for him. He caught one more win there, so we'll give that to him. All right, we're back to an even game now. 3 to. I know on the screen you're seeing 4-6, but if you look at the bottom left, you're going to see Miles goes to 7, and Zane goes to 9. So we got 3 for Miles, and we got 3 for Zane to go. First one there, we'll call them a victory. And Zane is racking at the moment. He is racking the game we're playing, which the game is 10 ball. The options for this match was 8, 9, or 10 ball. We did a blind draw at the beginning. 10 ball is what came out, and 10 ball is what they're playing. If you're new to hearing about the game of 10 ball, it's like 9 ball. If you've never heard of the game of 9 ball, well, the balls are 1 through 9 or 1 through 10, and you have to shoot them in order. 9 ball slop counts. 10 ball slop does not count. You got to hit that next ball, and you got to call the situation that you want to happen. And of course, you have to execute it if you want to stay at the table. Okay, the break. Got a 1 ball on the side. An 8 hanging. 2 on the side. I think that's the 8 on the side, by the side there. That colorblind thing. Yeah, it looks black. Then we'll figure it out when Zane shoots it in. Or Miles. Zane's the one at the table at the moment. Alright, cutting the 2 to the side. Looking good. Coming up to the 3. Oh, he bumped into it to that one as well. Same thing with the last rack. Ball speed, bringing some balls a little too close together, will create situations that players do not like. One of those situations you might encounter more often when you get to, like I was just speaking about, where you're trying to hold that ball. You can't hold the speed of the ball without dealing with the ramifications of it. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, sometimes you want them to happen. But you gotta know they're going to happen and know what to do with them if you're going to do that. Alright, he's looking at the layout of the table, I think here, trying to figure out exactly what's going to get him out on the table if he can get there. He's got kind of a tougher shot here to get position. Yeah. It's one of those ones, even if you make it, they drift up and you don't hold a lot of good position oftentimes without a high level of skill to understand exactly what happens after that ball hits 2 to 3 rails and hits another ball and ends up somewhere. Looks like a nice rail cut here. It should drift over nicely if you just a little top and hit it there. Oh, you want to pull it back, okay. We can pull those out of the pocket sometimes. I try to not use like that very often. Put some English on that though. Or actually, you know what? Just a hair of English. I would call that more topspin. And you know, as we talk about different things, a lot of the times you'll hear the word English and pull, and people think that means any different movement of the cue ball in such a way. And typically, English is really just referred to side spin, left and right of center, and you have top and bottom, which would be forward and draw. Which those aren't actually, I think, you know, fully considered English. They're just top and bottom. But off the rail, nice roll out there. He's got a nice angle on this 9 hit, I think. I think you just get a little bit of top to it, a little bit of stroke, and you'll get right to position on that 10 ball. You just got to make sure you get the cut into it. Yeah, see? But you gotta make sure you get that cut straight. Because you can't compensate, I guess you can. You don't want to compensate that shot as much with different spins, because then you're going to increase your odds of missing it. You just want to get the cut right and hit the top spin. I think we're seeing another one, Miles Banks here. Oh no, I guess not. He had it lined up like it looked like he couldn't make it as a bank there even. He just hit that with a little bit of a draw stroke. That might have banked in the side pocket, but he's going to leave it there for Zane to take a look at. I know Zane, seeing his earlier little shots he went at, he's not afraid to put a little stroke on these, but see, he's just going to, he's going to further the safety situation. We're going to battle this 10 ball out between each other on slide. Working with those safeties over and over. Which way it's going to take? Again, we're looking for that mistake that lets the other player get into the winning position for the match. Oh, and Miles coming in with another bank. You know, Miles has missed a couple cut shots that I wouldn't think he should have missed, but he has not missed any banks I would think he shouldn't miss. He's just right there on them. Good job, Miles. Whenever you probably listen to this and hear it, then that's some feedback for you. Good job on executing those bank shots. Miles is racking, and he's racking the Dynasphere balls, which, as you can see on the screen, is one of the sponsors. You can see their banner also in the background there, as well as Salotto helping with the Fargo rating and everything of that nature. And finding a way for players to just come together and play each other fair in any location with the use of just your cell phones or connected devices that can access, you know, the application for Salotto and get in there with your Fargo rating, your fair match, and have a successful fun match reported to Fargo. All right, Miles coming up here, going to show us his break once more. He's been potting balls, spreading balls really well. It just hasn't quite got his first shot going off the break yet. He got a first shot going, but I don't know that I heard or saw anything go down. 2 4s. Looks like there's 10 balls still on the table, so I think it's still an open situation. Yeah, looks like Zane's going to try to pot the 1, hold a little bit for position on the 2. Looking pretty good here. Trying to figure out if he's going in the side pocket. It's a tight side pocket. It's not going to give him much to work with. Alright, he left Miles a decent something to look at. It's a nice cut. It kind of wants the backspin though when you cut it, so he's got to really work with it when to do that. You see that? Yeah, that's what I was talking about there. When you cut that shot, it does want a backspin. You can, but it left him an opportunity to be right there in the window. So nice drift out. lined up on it. I guess it clears the 9. It was hard to see from this angle if it cleared the 9 or not, but maybe it did. Maybe he thought it did. But does it get held down there? Oh, okay. I guess he did not get a good hit. Zane taking his ball in hand, getting back down the table. It was a solid execution getting back down the table. They've stayed pretty neck and neck on, mistakes and pickups. It hasn't been one-sided very much at all. Yeah, that is not a friendly place for Miles to be, though. He's gonna get up there and look at some kicks. I think he's gonna have to here, but he's gonna come in with one rail and a lot of side spin. Be careful coming late. There we go. It came in nice and late, but oh yeah. See, we have our first foul with a no rail after contact, and what that means for anyone unfamiliar is to have that legal shot, that cue ball has to hit the next ball in order, and then any ball thereafter has to contact a rail. So, although he did contact, several 2, 3, 4 rails there. When he did finally contact the ball thereafter, nothing contacted a rail. That deems that a table foul and gives the opponent ball in hand. Now, apparently, what happened, Zane looked at the table, did not see an option on the next ball that he liked based on where that was, so he went right to the safety. Because outside of the next option, I feel like the table has a good layout that you can maybe get a run out position going, but that obviously wasn't the case here in this scenario. Miles slow roll into the pocket. Oh, we just came up to the outside just a hair. Felt like it was looking pretty good too for him. Zane's gonna come in with some spin, I think, there though. There, he got that one going for him. Does it slow up? Slow up the position for him. Looks like it's trying to. It did. Nice position. Just roll it up just a hair. Don't kill it too much. Yeah, that was a good stroke. That was a good place to put it. It gives him a nice option of where to work the cue ball next to get to the 9 before the 10. Because that's the real important place he's at right now. Was execute the 7, get to the 8, and try to hold those same zones. Because he's, if he's doing what it looks like he's doing, he's trying to play those zones. And there's just a zone where you get that cue ball to hold into. Depending on where you hit it, and in that zone, you can continue to make the next shot. And just alter how you're addressing the cue ball slightly, and you'll stay in it. He's kind of a little outside of his zone here, to where he's going to have to work a little bit harder for position. And potting the ball, becomes also a deal. That can be a bit tougher in those scenarios. But he got the ball potted, but he left himself a bank shot. Looks like it might come up a diamond. Oh, did he go for a safety there? And a double hit off the rail and left Miles up. What looks to be a pretty manageable cut shot here. I mean, I'd line up on the hair on the thin side and just, stay a medium light stroke into it and pocket speed it, kind of like that. Had a good roll to it. And, well, look at this. Look at this. So at this point we have Miles on the hill. And Zane, I believe, is up to rack. Zane's going to 9. Miles is going to 7. And as Zane racks, just remind everyone, if you're just tuning in or not, that they are playing 10 ball. And 10 ball is similar to 9 ball if you haven't played it, but most people watching, I believe, are probably pool players. Now, for those that don't know, 10 ball, hit the balls in order, 1 through 10. Call the shots, stay at the table, make the shots. Do that till the 10 ball's in, and you get the points. Or you can click that down as a win. Zane looking at the rack, making sure he likes it. He's going to have to really put the pressure on here. He can't let Miles in very much. He doesn't have a lot of failure rate windows left in the tank here, because Miles just needs one more game. Zane needing 3. Alright, the players are not at the table at the moment. You know what is by the table though? The Salotto banner and the Dinosaur banner. Because they're sponsors and they're great for everything they're doing for the sport. And so any chance I get to chime in and tell Reed and Kobe over at Salotto thank you, I think it's the best we can all do. Alright, Zane's getting up. His crack at the rack. He's going to get power into it. He's got power into it. Ball's up and down the table. I did hear something go down. My table, this table out here is a pocket table. There are those little coins at the bottom. They make a tink sound if a ball goes in. We call it the tink. So if you get a dry break and we're playing, we call that no tink tink. So, but it heard the tink, so I believe that we have one tink there.
Is it accurate? Say if you can say no.
Oh, you actually said that I won the next one.
Yeah, I think that does.
6 lanes. I think he might try to say this. No, okay, he did not. With that much cut angle and trying to get to a position shot, I feel like that would be a tough, low percentage to start out with. But if that wasn't the case and this was a safety, it was a good safety. If not the case, well, the shot paid off either way. I think Miles gonna look at a bank shot here. 1 rail. Get fancy with 3 rails. I don't think he did do 3 rails. It's really tough to do. That's a lot of spin on the table that you've only played on one day. Masse. Okay, spin off the rail. I think he's going to do a spin off the rail, a kick shot where he's spinning off the rail like that, yeah. Just not quite enough spin.
Anything on yours?
You know, it's the thing with those type of rail spin shots. You can't hit them super hard. You got to stroke them really well. Because you hit them hard, they just bounce off the rail. The spin never doesn't really take. You stroke them well, and you know you get that solid spin execution. You know, and the difference of a hit. You know, a hit is just like you're hard poking at the ball almost, and a stroke is like you're going accelerating through the ball, and it's applying it as it's coming through the entire hit of the ball. A nice power draw shot. You be careful with those because they might not make it to your goal area. But it looks like he got in a workable zone and must have fouled into the cue ball slightly there. And going to hand it over to Miles. We're going to see what Miles can do here. That 8 makes the run out a little tough, but within the possibility. So we'll look and see how much clearance he has here. It looks like he has enough clearance because he's about a ball outside the pocket with that 9 ball. That should give him enough room. It means he's got about a ball and 1/4 of an inch. I don't know if he was calling a combo there, but it's worked out enough.
Correct.
It's, you know, as off as this is, you know, if Zane's not feeling secure with the safety, you
So you deleted the 13 games?
English the cue ball off the 8, some direction, pot the 9. You could bank the 8 and cut the 10 in the side pocket. That's a bold move. But if you do that and you hold the cue ball, you might be able to leave him snooker behind the ball. No, he just kind of sold that one out a little bit, it looks like, from this side of the table. He left him quite a bit left Miles quite a bit to shoot at there. He doesn't have to shoot over the 9 ball though. That's it's never fun. It's just he can't get his stick quite as level as he'd probably like to with that 9 ball in that pocket there and stuff. He's going to be over top of all that. He's coming out to the side, so maybe he's going to the side pocket. Okay, he was going a different direction than I was expecting him to go. Yeah, see, I was looking at the long shot down the table because you could naturally use the rails and get yourself to a better position. And you've got a lot more pocket to kind of confidently shoot at, in my opinion. Because the way he shot, you shoot that wide side shot, it's straight to the pocket, but your margin for error is so small. All right, left Zane a good look at trying to get out here. Get this combo executed. All right, it did not get off angle. Good enough, a bit of a pro shot angle to it here. Nice little bit of a soft stroke.
Corner.
Let's see if he gets this executed. He'll have a shot just about anywhere if he gets this in the pocket. Yes, yeah, because pretty much everywhere beyond the side pockets on the other side of the table is a shot on the 10 ball. All right, now Miles with the 9 on this 8. I don't know if he called anything or not, but looked like maybe a safety go at it. Zane's got to come across the table rail here. It's slightly off the rail even too, because you got to come through past the ball as he hits it and not get it offline. Yeah, it's tough. It's so tough. He had position on the 10 if he had done it. I don't know if Miles is going to be looking at pulling out a bridge here. I don't know if we've seen a bridge the entire match. This is an 8-foot table too. That was not stated at any point. This is an 8-foot table, tight pockets, championship tour edition 33 cloth. And he's going for a bridge. A bridge is to replace your hand when you can't quite reach close enough to the shot to execute the way you're trying to execute, or just keep everything nice and stable. So that way, when you go to hit the ball, you hit the ball exactly the way you wanted to hit it. So it replaces your hand, so that you can hit those longer, harder shots. And he's really going in, looking at the angles here. I think he looks like he's going to try to get this cue ball rolling up towards the rack spot there, which is a really solid plan. He has done so. All right, and here we go. We've got I believe, to be the game-winning shot for Miles here. If he pots this 10 ball, he becomes the first place finisher in the Salotto Cup in the 499 and under.
Yes.
And he has done it. And we have a game-winning handshake out there from Miles. And I'd like to thank everyone who came out or who watched everything else. Give me just a moment here. I'll see if Miles wants to say anything. Miles, you want to say anything to the people in here?
Winner.
Sure.
We have Miles here. Miles, you won the Salotto Cup, first place. How's it feel? 499 and under?
Yeah, it feels good, man. It's really enjoyed playing. I really appreciate Greg and Pete for putting everything on. Hi, Mom. Hi, everyone watching out there, and thanks for supporting and tuning in.
Miles, congratulations! You guys fought hard out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of defensive battles out there.
You made some phenomenal bank shots.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You really did. Some of your cut shots out there, you review this, you'll see some of those cut shots. Maybe I was talking about, like, God, you just too thick, just didn't quite get there.
Right. Yeah.
But when it came down to it mattered on those bank shots,
right,
they
yeah.
kept you in it.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
and I think that might have been the difference of you winning this thing, was you executing those solid bank shots.
Yeah, and it was tough shots, and it's on the 10 ball, so there's a lot of pressure on them. I couldn't dial in my cuts. I don't know. And those side pockets are so unforgiving on this.
The whole table is
yeah,
brutal.
It's super
it is
unforgiving.
brutal.
So any little slide off, it looks like you miss it by a mile. And you're trying to dial it in, it just adds more pressure. Yeah, the banks were on. They were going. The balls were rolling for me. It was a lot of defensive battles out there. But it's 10 ball. You roll down to the end if you can't finish out the match. That's kind of the way it plays. So.
Congratulations, Miles.
Absolutely. Zane,
Thanks,
anything to say?
Nice shot,
Thanks, Greg.
Good
Pete, for
shooting,
doing
Zane.
everything. Live streaming the final match. We'll see you guys soon.
All right, thank you guys all. And from me, Gregory Jensen, Distinguished Billiards, we are signing out, and I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, thanks, man. I couldn't make any cuts. Those side pockets are crazy.
Huh?
I'm just not getting cut. None of these tables pockets are tight.